The Siren's Call, written by Roger Trow, narrated by Robin Howard Schrock. Prologue. The history of civilizations on Earth is a record of ebb and flow. Political powers also rise and fall. It is the same with the use of technology. A breakthrough in knowledge leads to a technological leap forward. But when the civilization which spawned that science falls, the knowledge may be lost. We see examples of this in the monoliths of the pyramids and building of Neolithic structures such as Stonehenge. Even now, all of the ancient mysteries have not been unlocked, and we can only wonder, what would the world today be like if mankind had continually progressed from age to age? Some inventions do have long legacies, such as the discovery of a wonder protein, which was given to the world in a therapy known as the Kyoto Protocol, or KP for short. KP was found to expand human intelligence and impart telepathic abilities, particularly when it was applied to embryos. The age of telepathy was expected to have profound societal impact, but its development was hindered, ironically, by its success, when one individual had an unusually powerful reaction to water which had been treated with KP. Jean-Claude Legrand was that person, and he was able to dominate the world by controlling the minds of the population. In this, he was aided by telepaths of lesser power. They called the new regime the Hive. Another significant discovery of the 22nd century was human rejuvenation therapy, or HRT. Human lifespan was increased tremendously, and not merely prolonged, but rejuvenated. Under the rule of the Hive, these treatments were restricted to the benefit of the elite, and all telepathic competition was ruthlessly eliminated. But eventually, the long reign of the powerful telepath known as the mutant Jean-Claude Legrand was ended. The regime was brought down by Jim Stewart and his sons, who returned from the space colonies to save the people of Earth. The Stewarts had great telepathic powers as a result of a substance called Silex-60, which was derived from an alien source. 1,000 years of an absolute dictatorship by the powerful telepath and his supporters, known collectively as the Hive, had left the Earth without any viable governments and all infrastructures devastated. There was no clear sense of direction, because the brightest and the best of political leadership and society had been systematically eliminated by the Hive. It feared that they might challenge the dominance of its telepaths. The Earth's population had lived as unthinking automatons, mere worker ants, unquestioningly obeying every requirement imposed upon them by the leadership of the Hive. The elite circle that surrounded the mutant, which had the benefit of all vaccines, survived when a series of plagues and pandemics swept the planet. However, it was not merely the shortened life expectancy of the masses that had been deliberately deprived of HRT. There was no education available also. These factors led to the social breakdown under the Hive and resulted in a lack of skills transfer between the generations of the Earth. Mankind was in danger of slipping back into savagery. The productivity of the Earth's population declined drastically with each succeeding generation. Food production and industrial skills were lost, and civilization was in real danger of being totally destroyed. Human beings had been reduced to behaving like animals, mere creatures of instinct. Then, with the removal of the entire leadership of the Hive by Jim Stewart and his sons Akiyoshi and Adam, the world was awakened as one who had been in a long and deep sleep. There was total confusion and anarchy. People needed to be educated in the norms of society. For generations, the only guidance that they had known had been the brutal mind probes of the telepaths of the Hive. The assistance offered by the off-world human race was their only road to salvation. Evidently, the education of this ignorant herd of humanity was the first priority of the new order. Before the rise of the mutant and the creation of the Hive, Jim Stewart had decided long ago that competing in the public sector was not his forte, and he had developed his business empire off-world. Stewart Space Exploration Corporation.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?